Forget everything you thought you knew about cars. Today we're diving headfirst into the automotive twilight zone, where vehicles look more like spaceships, bathtubs, and even shoes. From six-wheeled monsters and bubble-shaped cruisers to cars built entirely out of wood, these bizarre creations will make you question reality and the sanity of the people who built them. Some were ahead of their time. Others should have stayed in the drawing room. Buckle up, we're about to take a ride through the most unbelievable and strange cars ever made. Homemade motorhome. Fans of Top Gear are well acquainted with the outrageous antics the trio gets up to, but one of the most memorable and bizarre episodes involved a unique challenge. Each host had to design and build their own luxurious motorhome. What followed was pure entertainment, as their creations turned out to be some of the weirdest yet most impressive camper designs ever seen.
20.
Jeremy Clarkson's creation, affectionately dubbed the Leaning Tower of Citroën, was a towering three-story vehicle he built from scratch. On the bottom level, he included a small kitchen space complete with a toaster and grill, following the rules of the challenge. The middle level housed a Japanese-style meditation room, and the top floor featured 2 hammocks for resting. To move between the levels, Jeremy even installed a ladder. In contrast, Richard Hammond opted for a more classic RV approach. But in terms of creativity and weirdness, Jeremy's camper was in a league of its own. I'd say he absolutely nailed the challenge. Before we continue, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon, or else a centipede might decide to visit your face while you sleep. It's time for the topic of the day. An American automobile engineer stunned the world by designing a car that looks exactly like a formal shoe. Sleek, polished, and surprisingly functional, it turns heads on every street. This blend of fashion and engineering challenges the norms. Could future cars become wearable art? It's a bold step proving creativity drives innovation beyond the ordinary. What do you think? Comment below. A banana car. Like everyone else, I like bananas, but transforming a banana into a full-sized car? That's taking fruit fandom to a whole new level. This isn't some tiny toy model, it's a huge, drivable car, shaped exactly like a banana. Steve Braithwaite, originally from Britain, started this wild project back in 2009. It took him 2 years to complete, finishing in 2011. The base for this banana car was a 1993 Ford F-150 pickup truck. Steve kept the truck's strong frame, but covered it with a structure made from reinforced steel bars and chicken wire. Then, he shaped the whole thing using polyurethane foam to get that perfect banana curve. After all the shaping, he painted it bright yellow with some brown spots to make it look just like the real fruit. Underneath the fruity exterior, the banana car runs on a powerful V8 engine. Despite its unusual look, it's quite functional. It gets about 15 miles per gallon and can reach speeds of up to 85 miles per hour. Steve spent around $25,000 on the whole build, a lot of money but well worth it for such a unique vehicle. Since its completion, the banana car has traveled across the United States, turning heads and bringing smiles wherever it goes. It's a fun and quirky example of how creativity and engineering can come together to make something truly unforgettable. So next time you eat a banana, remember there's one out there that's more than just a snack, it's a banana on wheels, ready to hit the road. Shed on wheels. Breaking speed records usually brings to mind sleek sports cars or high-tech futuristic machines. But what if the fastest vehicle was something as simple as a wooden shed? That's exactly what Kevin Nix from the UK achieved. He took a typical garden shed and transformed it into a fully road-legal, turbocharged speed machine that stunned everyone. Kevin's project was far from ordinary. He built this shed on wheels with nearly 13,000 pounds, carefully turning an everyday backyard structure into a vehicle capable of incredible speeds. Underneath the wooden exterior lies a powerful 400-horsepower engine, which easily outperforms many traditional sports cars. This setup allowed the shed to hit an astonishing top speed of 101 miles per hour on the roads of Wales, shattering the previous speed record for a shed-powered vehicle, which was just 80 miles per hour. Despite its incredible performance, the vehicle still looks like what it is: a wooden shed. It's not about flashy design or sleek aerodynamics. This is a shed, plain and simple, rolling on wheels. That contrast between its humble appearance and its surprising speed is what makes Kevin's creation so bizarre and fascinating. It's a reminder that innovation and engineering can sometimes come from the most unexpected places. The shed on wheels isn't just a quirky novelty. It's a record-breaking achievement that challenges our ideas about what a car should be. While it might not turn heads for its style, it certainly commands respect for its power and speed. Kevin Nix proved that with enough creativity and determination, even a garden shed can become a highway speed demon. Messerschmitt KR 200. The Messerschmitt KR 200 is a perfect example of Europe's love for small, efficient cars, especially during the challenging post-war years. Built between 1955 and 1964, this tiny two-seater became an iconic symbol of German ingenuity and creativity. Its unique design looked like a mix between an airplane cockpit and a futuristic pod, reflecting the company's aviation roots. After World War II, the Messerschmitt company faced strict restrictions that prevented it from making airplanes. This forced the company to explore new directions, and designer Fritz Fenn came up with the idea of creating a microcar. The KR 200 was the result, an innovative vehicle with tandem seating, meaning the passenger sat directly behind the driver, much like in an aircraft. This helped keep the car's narrow profile and aerodynamic shape, reducing air resistance and improving efficiency. Weighing just over 250 kilograms, about 550 pounds, the KR 200 was incredibly light and compact. Its streamlined body resembled the fuselage of a small airplane, emphasizing speed and stability. Thanks to its low center of gravity and clever design, the car handled exceptionally well, especially on narrow European roads and city streets. One of the standout features of the Messerschmitt KR 200 was how practical and fun it was to drive, despite its small size. It had a single-cylinder, two-stroke engine, which made it easy on fuel and simple to maintain. The car could reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, impressive for a vehicle so small and light. Simca Fulgur, 1958, concept car. Back in 1958, the future looked incredibly exciting to some designers, so much so that they imagined cars straight out of science fiction. One of the most ambitious was the Simca Fulgur, a concept car designed by Robert Opron for the French automaker Simca. It was revealed to the public at the 1959 Geneva Motor Show, and later shown in New York in 1961 and Chicago. What made the Fulgur stand out wasn't just its futuristic style, but the wild ideas behind how it would work. The Simca Fulgur was designed as a vision of what cars might look like in the year 2000. It was supposed to run on atomic power, yes, nuclear energy, making it a revolutionary step away from traditional fuel sources. The car was meant to be radar-guided, which means it could sense its surroundings and possibly avoid obstacles on its own. This was decades before modern driver assist technologies became common. Even more futuristic was the idea that the Fulgur would be voice-activated. Drivers could control functions with their voice, a concept that's only now becoming common in modern cars with virtual assistants. But perhaps the wildest part of the design was its balance on just two wheels, using gyroscopic technology to stay upright, like a motorcycle, but with much more stability and speed. The Fulgur was expected to reach a top speed of 150 kilometers per hour, impressive for the time, especially with all these high-tech features. Although we never got to see atomic-powered, two-wheeled cars in real life, the Simca Fulgur remains a fascinating glimpse into the dreams of the past. It shows how designers in the 1950s imagined a future filled with sleek, fast, and super smart vehicles. Looking back, it's fun and a little bittersweet to imagine what it would have been like to drive a car that was so ahead of its time. The Pink Panther Mobile. The Pink Panther Mobile is one of the most memorable and quirky cars ever made. and it kept fans smiling for nearly 50 years. Originating from the Pink Panther franchise, which started in 1963 and became famous through movies, cartoons, and TV shows, this car became a symbol of fun and whimsy. Specifically created for the NBC Pink Panther show that aired between 1969 and 1976, the Panthermobile was a true standout. Its designer, J. Orberg, was a legendary figure in the world of movie and TV cars, having also created famous vehicles like the Batmobile, KITT from Knight Rider, and the DeLorean from Back to the Future. What made the Panthermobile so unique wasn't just its bright pink color on the outside, but how it was pink everywhere you looked. The car stretched a massive 23 feet in length, making it hard to miss on any road. It was powered by a powerful 6.7-liter engine, giving it enough muscle to match its wild looks. But what really set this car apart was the pleasure capsule, a special area designed for ultimate comfort and fun. Inside the pleasure capsule, the party never stopped. It featured a bar stocked for refreshments, plush pink satin seats that looked ultra comfy, and soft pink shag carpeting that added to the retro vibe. There was even a push-button phone in classic pink to keep in touch. The seats were permanently reclined to help passengers relax, and a black and white television kept everyone entertained. Adding to the futuristic feel was a camera system allowing the driver to see everything going on in the rear party area, making it a perfect blend of style, fun, and clever design. Cadillac Eldorado, longest limo in the world. J. Orberg's Cadillac Eldorado limousine is the ultimate symbol of excessive luxury and engineering creativity, earning its place as the longest limo ever built. Measuring a staggering 30.5 meters, about 100 feet long, this behemoth stretches out far beyond any normal vehicle, supported by an astonishing 26 wheels to carry its enormous weight. Its sheer size and features make it more like a mobile palace than just a limousine. Inside, the Cadillac Eldorado limo is packed with extravagant amenities that you wouldn't expect to find in a car. It boasts a swimming pool and a hot tub, luxuries usually reserved for high-end homes or resorts. For sleeping, there's a king-sized waterbed, adding an extra layer of comfort and uniqueness. On top of all this, the limo even has a helipad on its roof, allowing a helicopter to land directly on the vehicle. This turns it into a versatile vehicle that could handle the ultimate VIP transport needs. Because of its massive length, the limo required not just one, but two drivers. One driver handled the front steering, while a second driver controlled the rear wheels to help the vehicle turn smoothly. The limo was also built with a hinged middle section, which allowed some degree of maneuverability despite its enormous size. However, due to these features and its overall length, the limo was never street legal and had to be transported on trailers from place to place. Fiat 600 Multipla. The Fiat 600 Multipla is a classic example of quirky automotive design that many car collectors absolutely love, not because of speed or muscle, but for its unique charm and practicality. Launched in the mid-1950s, it was one of the very first family vans, designed to carry more people comfortably without being big or bulky. What makes the Multipla truly fascinating is how cleverly it was built using parts from other Fiat models, creating a small but surprisingly spacious vehicle. The Multipla was built on the drivetrain of the popular Fiat 600, which was a tiny car by itself, and it borrowed the front suspension from the slightly larger Fiat 1100. Despite being just about 50 centimeters longer than the iconic Mini Cooper, the Multipla could fit up to 6 people inside, an impressive feat for such a compact vehicle. Its wheelbase measured 2 meters, the same as the Fiat 600 sedan, which shows just how space-efficient the design was. One of the most unusual aspects of the Multipla's design was the way the driver's seat was positioned. The driver sat over the front axle, which freed up space in the front by removing the traditional trunk. This gave the van a very distinctive, almost flat-fronted look that stood out from the typical car designs of its era. This layout wasn't just about style, it was a smart move to maximize interior space and improve visibility for the driver. The Fiat Multipla first appeared to the public in January 1956 at the Brussels Motor Show, where its innovative design captured attention. It was so ahead of its time that the Multipla name was revived decades later in 1998 for a modern compact MPV version that embraced the same spirit of practical, family-friendly design. The original Fiat 600 Multipla remains a beloved classic, celebrated for turning small size into clever space-saving innovation. Amphicar Model 770. The Amphicar Model 770 is a fascinating piece of automotive history that brought military-inspired amphibious technology into everyday civilian use. Introduced by a German company in 1961, the Amphicar was designed to seamlessly transition between driving on roads and cruising on water. This dual-purpose vehicle promised drivers the convenience of owning one car that could do both jobs, something that had mostly been seen only in military vehicles until then. The Amphicar made its debut at the 1961 New York Auto Show, capturing attention with its unusual concept and charming design. Production ran from 1961 to 1967, but only about 4,000 units were ever built. Most of these were sold in the United States, where the idea of a car that could double as a boat sparked curiosity, if not massive enthusiasm. On land, the Amphicar could reach a respectable top speed of 70 miles per hour, making it capable enough for everyday driving. When it shifted into water mode, it could glide along at about 7 knots, roughly 8 miles per hour, which, while slow compared to regular boats, was impressive for a vehicle that also functioned as a car. Despite its innovative design and quirky appeal, the Amphicar didn't become a commercial success. Buyers were often hesitant because the vehicle's performance wasn't exceptional on either land or water, and maintenance could be tricky. Its amphibious abilities came with compromises in comfort, speed, and practicality. However, the Amphicar Model 770 holds a unique place in automotive history because it earned the quirky title of being the fastest car on water and the fastest boat on land. Though it was ultimately considered a flop by mainstream standards, its blend of novelty and engineering creativity continues to fascinate car enthusiasts and collectors today. The Nautilus Car. The Nautilus Car is one of the most impressive and visually stunning movie replicas ever created. Inspired by the iconic vehicle from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, this car isn't just a copy, it's a true labor of love. Ken Freeman, the mastermind behind this project, spent 5 years carefully building the Nautilus car before unveiling it to the public recently. The amount of time and effort he put into this creation shows just how passionate he was about honoring the original design. What makes the Nautilus car so unique starts with its foundation.
This car on a submarine? Like you had it on a submarine?
It was stored inside.
It's built on a modified Land Rover fire truck frame, which gives it a strong, durable base, perfect for supporting its massive size and weight. Stretching 22 feet long and featuring 6 wheels, this beast looks both powerful and mysterious, almost like something out of a steampunk fantasy. Underneath its striking exterior is a V8 engine, ensuring the car has plenty of muscle to back up its imposing look. The body of the Nautilus car is made from fiberglass, shaped and designed by Carol Spire. What really sets it apart, though, are the incredibly detailed Hindu-inspired engravings that cover the car's surface. These intricate designs give the vehicle an exotic and artistic feel, making it stand out even more as a work of craftsmanship and creativity. In the original movie, only 2 Nautilus cars were ever made, making them extremely rare. But Ken Freeman's replica is so well-crafted and detailed that many people consider it even more impressive than the originals. This car isn't just a vehicle, it's a masterpiece that captures the imagination and transports fans straight into the world of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's a shining example of how dedication and artistry can bring a fantasy to life. The City Car. The Sebring Vanguard City Car was a small electric 2-seater that briefly captured America's attention during a time when the future of transportation was uncertain. Produced from 1974 to 1982, this quirky vehicle looked like a wedge of cheese or a shoebox on wheels, far from sleek, but packed with bold ideas. It represented a strange mix of futuristic ambition and outdated technology, plugging straight into the US power grid long before electric vehicles became popular. Today, it's debated whether the city car was a visionary leap forward or simply an odd moment in automotive history. But either way, it played an important role in the early evolution of electric vehicles. When first introduced in 1974 as the SV48, the city car had limited range and speed, but its performance improved when the makers added 2 extra batteries. This upgrade boosted both how far it could go and how fast it could move, although it often required balancing the two. By 1976, the car got a facelift. It evolved into a more practical hatchback coupe, swapping its original flimsy curtains for real doors and adding a hatch for easier rear storage. It also received a more powerful 6.5 horsepower engine, giving it a little more pep on the road. In 1977, Sebring Vanguard expanded its lineup with the City Van, a longer version designed for more cargo space. Despite these improvements, the underlying battery and motor technologies didn't keep pace with advancements elsewhere. Because of that, the city car's popularity faded and production eventually stopped. Though the Sebring Vanguard city car was never the prettiest or most advanced vehicle, it holds a special place in the history of electric transportation. It was one of the early pioneers that paved the way for today's EV revolution. In fact, its impact was so significant that it even caught the attention of Elon Musk, one of the biggest names in the electric car industry today. The city car may be an oddball, but it helped shape how we imagine and build electric vehicles now. Zombie-fighting Maybach Excelero. Imagine a car built specifically to survive a zombie apocalypse, a vehicle tough enough to outrun and even smash through hordes of the undead. That's exactly what someone in Jordan created, inspired by the 2005 Maybach Excelero, a rare and powerful luxury car that already had a cult following. This isn't just any car remake, it's a full-on zombie fighting machine designed for ultimate survival in a post-apocalyptic world. The original Maybach Excelero, introduced in 2005, was a striking 2-door coupe with a roaring V12 engine producing an impressive 700 horsepower. It was already a beast on wheels, blending extreme luxury with raw power. But this Jordanian build took the concept to a whole new level, turning the sleek Excelero into a war-ready vehicle that looks like it rolled straight out of a zombie movie. One of the most eye-catching modifications is the addition of tank-like rear tracks, replacing the traditional rear wheels to provide unbeatable traction and toughness on rough, destroyed terrain. The passenger cabin is armored with heavy-duty panels, offering solid protection from attacks. Up front, a massive bull bar makes the vehicle ready to plow through obstacles or zombies with ease. But the real kicker is its arsenal. Mounted on the hood is a gun ready for action, while twin machine guns guard the rear. To top it all off, there's even a rocket launcher mounted on the vehicle, making it a mobile fortress capable of taking on any undead threat. Sure, this powerhouse guzzles fuel like crazy, but in a world overrun by zombies, fuel efficiency is the last thing on your mind. The 1929 rocket car. In the roaring 1920s, rocketry was capturing the imagination of inventors and scientists around the world, sparking daring experiments that pushed the limits of technology and creativity. Among the most adventurous was Max Valier, an Austrian scientist and rocketry enthusiast who wasn't afraid to test unconventional ideas. Valier's passion for rocket power led him to attach rocket engines to a variety of vehicles, and one of his most extraordinary creations was a rocket-powered car built on a 1921 Chevrolet chassis. This unusual car was anything but conventional. Its body was largely made from cardboard and linoleum, materials that might seem fragile by today's standards, but were chosen for their lightweight properties. The car was powered by 2 gasoline-fueled rocket engines, an innovative and risky propulsion system at a time when rockets were still a new and experimental technology. Despite its fragile appearance and daring design, the rocket car was actually registered in New York, allowing it to legally operate on the roads. Valier's rocket car made its first test run in the late 1920s, and surprisingly, it survived this explosive debut. The vehicle's performance was a testament to Valier's ingenuity and courage, combining early rocketry with automotive engineering in a way that few others dared to attempt. Although it was a dangerous experiment, the car showcased the bold spirit of innovation that defined the era. Decades after its initial tests, the rocket car was rediscovered in Valier's backyard. where it had been left to the elements. It was carefully salvaged and restored, preserving this fascinating piece of automotive and rocketry history. The limo jet. Arriving in a jet usually screams luxury, but what if you could cruise down the highway in one? That's what the limo jet aims to deliver, a fusion of private jet and limousine that took 12 years to complete. This 42-foot-long limo uses a real Learjet fuselage mounted on a steel frame. It features a booming 17,000-watt sound system, infinity mirror flooring, and space for 18 passengers. Instead of jet engines, giant speakers sit where the turbines once were, pumping out roaring jet sound effects. A Chevrolet 8.1-liter V8 engine powers this beast, rolling on 28-inch Diablo wheels. More than just a gimmick, the craftsmanship on this limo jet is impressive, blending absurdity with true design talent. Honda Fujijo. The Honda Fujijo is a striking example of how Japanese car makers have long pushed the boundaries of conventional design, especially at events like the Tokyo Motor Show. Unveiled in 1999, this concept car was made to capture the energy and vibe of Japan's vibrant nightlife scene, aiming to appeal to young people who love to party and live life to the fullest. Its very name, Fujijo, means sleepless city, perfectly reflecting the non-stop lively spirit of urban nights. The design of the Fujijo is unlike any typical car. It looks like a quirky, rolling toaster that could have come straight out of a LEGO set or a futuristic animation. Its boxy, compact shape is eye-catching, but the real excitement is inside. The car's interior was created to feel like a nightclub on wheels, with plenty of standing room so passengers could dance as they traveled. Instead of a traditional dashboard, it featured a DJ booth-inspired control panel, turning the driver's seat into a spot where music and driving mix seamlessly. The steering wheel was even designed to look like a vinyl turntable, adding to the party vibe and making the driving experience feel more like spinning records at a club. Though the Honda Fujijo never made it into mass production, it wasn't meant to. Instead, it was a bold statement about the future of urban transportation, one where cars could be more than just a way to get from point A to point B. It imagined a world where travel and entertainment blend together, so the party doesn't have to stop just because you're moving to a new location. 1958. Survival. Forget the picture-perfect 1950s from TV shows like Leave It to Beaver. The reality was much darker and scarier. The late 1950s were a time of real danger. Nuclear threats loomed large, pollution choked the air, and highways were filled with reckless drivers zooming around in cars without seatbelts. It was a chaotic, risky era for anyone behind the wheel. Out of this worry for safety, one of the strangest cars ever built emerged, the 1958 Survival. Created by Walter C. Jerome from Worcester, Massachusetts, the Survival was a revolutionary attempt to make driving safer in a world that desperately needed it. Built on the sturdy frame of a 1948 Hudson chassis, this car looked nothing like the sleek, stylish vehicles of its time. Instead, it resembled a monstrous, one-eyed creature rolling down the street, part robot, part tank, and totally unforgettable. The Survival grabbed attention when it was featured in Mechanics Illustrated magazine in April 1959, shocking readers with its odd shape and bulky appearance. Despite its weird look, the car was designed with one main goal: safety. It was packed with features aimed at protecting its occupants, at a time when safety wasn't a priority in the automotive world.
Finland want to know how much delivered to Helsinki Harbor. That's not going to happen.
The car's unusual design earned it a nickname, the ugliest car with the kindest heart. However, this bulky, armored design wasn't without its flaws. For example, making a simple right turn in the Survival was reportedly a nerve-wracking experience due to its awkward steering and size. Still, Walter Jerome's invention showed that even in a dangerous era, someone was thinking ahead to protect drivers and passengers. The Survival may never have become a popular car, but it remains a fascinating piece of automotive history, a reminder that sometimes safety and innovation come wrapped in the most unusual packages. Jelly Bean Skate Car. Back in the late 1970s, Larry Strickland, a man who managed a roller rink, bowling alley, and childcare center, came up with a truly quirky idea. Together with his dad, who owned a fiberglass business, they created something completely unique: the Jelly Bean skate car. This wasn't just any car, it was a fun, eye-catching vehicle designed to promote their skating rinks, which were called Sports World. The Jelly Bean skate car looked like a cross between a car and a giant roller skate. Its playful, weird shape quickly caught people's attention wherever it went. Larry and his dad built around 16 of these unusual vehicles, turning them into local legends in the communities where Sports World operated. These cars weren't just for show, they became a symbol of fun and excitement, perfectly matching the lively spirit of the skating rinks they advertised. Under the hood, the Jelly Bean skate car wasn't just a gimmick. It was powered by a reliable 1,600cc Volkswagen engine, giving it enough power to cruise around town and turn heads. Even though the car looked odd and maybe a little goofy to some outsiders, anyone lucky enough to drive it instantly became the coolest person around. It wasn't just a ride, it was an experience, blending the joy of roller skating with the freedom of driving. Today, these quirky vehicles are rare, but at least one Jelly Bean skate car has survived the test of time. You can still see it at the Sparkles skating rink in Atlanta, Georgia. It stands as a nostalgic reminder of a creative time when a father-son team turned a simple idea into a rolling piece of local history. The Jelly Bean skate car perfectly captures the fun and inventiveness of the 1970s, proving that sometimes the most unusual ideas can leave the biggest impressions. Colum Caravan. Campers are great for road trips and adventures, but they often feel a bit boring because they tend to be just big vans with a bed and a small kitchen inside. What if a camper could change its shape to fit whatever you need at the moment? That's exactly the idea behind the Colum Caravan, a unique modular motorhome designed by Christian Susanna. Its name stands for Colors of Life in Motion, reflecting its flexible and dynamic nature. The Colum Caravan might not be the most stylish camper you've ever seen, but it makes up for that with incredible practicality. One of its coolest features is that the front section can detach when you don't need the living area, giving you more freedom and convenience while on the road. This means if you just want to drive or explore without the extra bulk, you can easily leave the living part behind. Inside, the Colum Caravan is like a little house on wheels, but with a clever twist. It has movable walls and multifunctional modules. This means you can rearrange the inside space depending on what you want to do. Whether you need more room for cooking, sleeping, or just relaxing, the layout can change to match your plans. This flexible design lets you adjust everything from the cockpit to the bedroom area, making it perfect for different types of trips. The motorhome is built to comfortably accommodate 2 people, but it can also fit up to 4 when needed. This versatility is great for couples or small families who want the freedom to travel without being stuck in a fixed space. Overall, the Colum Caravan is a clever reinvention of the traditional camper, combining practicality with innovation to create a truly adaptable home on wheels. It shows that even something as simple as a camper can be transformed into a flexible and exciting travel companion. And there you have it. The wildest, weirdest, and most wonderfully ridiculous cars ever to hit the road, or at least attempt to. From rolling works of art to four-wheeled fever dreams, these machines prove that cars aren't just about horsepower. They're about imagination, risk, and sometimes a whole lot of what were they thinking? Which one blew your mind the most? Or better yet, which one would you actually dare to drive? Drop your favorites, or the ones that scared you, in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this crazy cruise through automotive oddities, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because we're just getting started uncovering the world's most unbelievable creations.